Hello, I'm Annuska Zolyomi. I'm pleased to present research I conducted with Jaime Snyder. Our research is called Social Emotional Sensory Design Map for Affective Computing Informed by Neurodivergent Experiences. In this brief preview of our paper, I will talk about our research motivation, our grounded design methodology, our context study findings, and I'll discuss implications. The research was motivated by the field of interpersonal communication and technology use. We wanted to understand what the lived experiences are for autistic young adults during interpersonal communication. Autism impacts one's social interactions, communication, behaviors, and cognition. As one of our research participants described, Sarah, she said that I'm just really sensitive and the world is very intense and I just take it all in and I can't block it out. This was the type of rich description that we elicited during our research. Autistic adults have expressed feeling out of place or adrift in the world of others. They can experience unpredictable environmental and embodied affects that are baffling. We use the neurodiversity paradigm in our research to frame autism in terms of natural diversity in human experiences and mental functioning. And we wanted to examine whether these types of experiences were accounted for in technology, specifically in the field of affective computing. This type of computing encompasses digital experiences and algorithms that relate to affective phenomenon, which include emotion and feelings. Types of affective computing technologies are social robots and emotion artificial intelligence. An underlying dominant theory of these types of computing are based on psychology. For example, Paul Ekman posited that there were 6 basic emotions, from anger to surprise, shown in the top row. This theory has widespread influence on technology. For example, the middle row shows ubiquitous emojis. And technology tends to assume that emotional experiences are therefore universal and predictable. Yet what we know from research, prior work in our own research, here is that neurodivergent experiences can deviate and be different from these types of emotional experiences. And overarching, we want to ask, how can technology better account for neurodivergent experiences? We asked, how do young adults conceptualize and share emotions and sensory experiences? And secondly, how do young adults use or respond to digital technologies within the context of social, emotional, and sensory experiences? By sensory experiences, I mean processing lights, sounds, tactile, and our internal sense of interoception, or a sense of self. And the second research question is described in our paper. And in this short video, I will focus on research question number 1. Our methodology was using grounded design, which is an iterative and collaborative design process to engage with a community of practice. Using this methodology, we became deeply familiar with the context of use of technology, and we worked closely with autistic stakeholders and autism-focused organizations. This report and a video focus on phase 1, our context study of grounded design. We partnered with autism organizations to recruit participants. We asked participants to be part of a multi-step research project as co-designers with us to discover, brainstorm, and evaluate autism technology. In the context study, we had 18 participants who identified as autistic. All of them were conversational through verbal modality so that they could describe to us their experiences and that they were comfortable sharing emotions and sensory sensitivities. During the interviews, we supplemented verbal communication with nonverbal means of communication and expressing of ideas and experiences. We asked them to share comfort objects with us that they use in their everyday lives to process emotions and to ease discomfort that they might feel from interpersonal communication. We also use visual methods to engage our participants to understand how they conceptualize emotions and what they think of commonly used visual representations of emotions used in social emotional learning and affective computing. Our context study findings revealed that our autistic participants had a diverse range of emotional expressions. They disagreed with the facial expressions that are commonly used to depict basic emotions. They said that these expressions were exaggerated and that they themselves do not show emotions in this way. They were asked to create their own set of emotion images to represent their experiences, some of which are shown here. One participant said he had two emotional states, neutral and angry. Another participant described feeling and expressing a near constant neutral emotional state. And on the right-hand side, a participant depicted her four main emotions of calm, anger, content, and confusion. You can see that as a whole, this is a stark contrast to the theory of universal basic 6 emotions, and thus starts to form the foundation of our critique of the trends of affective computing, of building in neurotypical norms of emotions into technology. The second set of findings is the social construction of emotional experiences. We found that emotional experiences were constructed within a given context of social interaction and the sensory environment. It was based on who they were speaking with and whether or not that person was accepting of their emotional expressions. They often felt that social interactions were heightened by an underlying emotional state of anxiety and stress, and they felt a lot of social pressure. For example, Alana said that her family would describe her as being, oh, she's antisocial, and I don't know what that was. So this use of terminology and conceptions of emotion could be alienating for autistic adults. Strategies used by autistic adults included using autism identity cards that would express to people that they have autism, how it might be presenting in a certain situation, and what they could do. People also use brain communication to work through emotionally intense experiences with family. Now, our key takeaways are that the emotional expressions of autistic adults are embodied and co-constructed. They need to be situated and designed for within the physical environment, social relationships, and technology use. We found that conventional approaches to algorithmic classification and visual representations of emotions fail to accurately represent the experiences and perceptions of autistic adults, and therefore are excluding this population. We propose using a design approach of a design map, which depicts the 4 dimensions of the emotional landscape of individuals and groups, communicative practices and social norms of the group, sensations in the environment, and technology use and influences. The map centers the autistic individual with their particular neurology and physical body. By depicting these set of influences with varied impact on a design space, we believe this will better capture the lived experiences of autistic people so that technology can be inclusive. So in summary, we offer empirical understandings of experiences of autistic adults. We show how conventional approaches are not accurately representing their experiences. And we offer our social emotional sensory design map as a way to visualize and work with the nuances and richness of the embodied and situated experiences of autistic adults. Thank you.